Mr. Secretary, what legal authority did the Pentagon invoke to strike that boat full of drug smugglers?
We have the absolute and complete authority to conduct that.
What legal authority do I have to commit war crimes in international water? How about fuck you, America?
First of all, just the defense of the American people alone. Said we smoked a drug boat, and there's 11 narco-terrorists at the bottom of the ocean.
It wasn't a drug boat. Experts who the New York Times interviewed don't think it was a drug boat either.
Holy hell, folks, we have to talk about how multiple military operations are absolutely blowing up in Trump's face. The first, obviously, this Venezuelan strike that is backfiring so badly, it has international law experts struggling to find an explanation or defense of it, with little to no evidence or help from the Trump administration. But then we also need to talk about this bombshell new report from the New York Times on how a top secret SEAL Team 6 mission into North Korea fell apart, an operation that Trump greenlit back in 2019. And both of these things have coincided to completely blow up in Trump's face so badly that the public, the internet, and even MAGA morons are starting to realize that their dear diaper-wearing dictator-in-chief doesn't know shit about or care about military operations and their repercussions around the world. So drop a like if you care about holding this administration accountable, and subscribe to be alerted when their actions blow up in their face. And let's start with how Trump announced this strike and the evidence he provided, or rather, the lack thereof.
We just over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. And you'll be seeing that, and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago.
You're looking at video shared by President Trump that his administration says shows the military striking a boat from Venezuela allegedly carrying drugs. The president says 11 were killed in the attack and that no Americans were injured.
And not only did the Trump administration not offer any legal rationale,
100,000 Americans were killed each year under the previous administration because of an open border and open drug traffic flow.
Was there
that is an assault on the American people. I said we smoked a drug boat, and there's 11 narco-terrorists at the bottom of the ocean. And when other people try to do that, they're going to meet the same fate.
even some officials at the Defense Department privately expressed concern about the administration's shifting narratives, including where the vessel was headed. Marco Rubio had said on Tuesday that it was going to Trinidad, while Trump said the United States. On Wednesday, Rubio changed his version, saying the drug-laden boat was bound for the United States. But it's not even just that, because both experts and the public both cast serious doubt on whether the alleged boat was even a drug boat to begin with.
I think the thing that tips everyone off at first is, why would there be 11 people on it? You would think they would want to have less weight. In all my years of doing this, I've never seen the U.S. military say, okay, this is a drug shipment, and then just blow it up. This is a former official who has years of a direct experience in fighting drug cartels that was interviewed by the New York Times. Official did point out that it was unusual to have 11 people manning a vessel that could easily be crewed by 2 or 3, especially since traffickers are always trying to maximize the amount of cargo space devoted to carrying the drugs. And in that official's opinion, it was more likely a vessel carrying migrants.
And granted, public opinion has been widely divided. You had this creator on TikTok, Both Sides News, explaining it like this.
We need to talk about Trump just blowing up that boat coming from Venezuela. What about it? It was great. It was carrying loads of drugs and operated by 11 members of a U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization trained at Aragua, headed straight to the U.S. Oh, really? Because I didn't know being suspected of smuggling drugs is now a death sentence. I mean, for all we know, one of those on the boat was a coerced 14-year-old who was told nothing about what they were doing. Dude, the U.S. has the best intelligence in the world. We knew exactly who these people were, and smugglers like this are responsible for killing tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Americans yearly. Where's your remorse for that? It was still likely illegal in international law. Under Article 2, Paragraph 4 of the UN Charter, countries can resort to force only when under attack and deploying their military in self-defense. And the UN's International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights gives a right to life, saying lethal force may only be used when absolutely necessary to protect life. I don't know how many more Americans need to die of overdoses for you to see that we have been under attack, and these were terrorists, and we've seen multiple presidents and countries take out terrorists. That's really stretching the definition of an attack. Is the U.S. saying any boat it deems deems to be smuggling drugs in international water is ripe for obliteration? U.S. intelligence can be wrong. Do you not see how this risks the lives of fishermen or leisure boaters? I mean, why didn't the U.S. just arrest these smugglers, learn more about their background and operations, and follow international law? You can literally see the drugs in the video. This one was clear as day. We gotta stop allowing stretched out interpretations of international law stop us from doing the common sense thing of killing terrorists, and killing them rather than arresting them keeps our men and women out of danger and sends a message to drug smugglers all over Venezuela: do not mess with Uncle Sam. Okay, well, I didn't know we were ruled by the laws of the jungle now and just dismissing international law, but go off. It's common sense law to save Americans. If it was common sense law, I'd be shooting you in the face right now. What the fuck are you saying?
And his comments were fittingly mixed, even though there's really one side there that's leaning on facts and one that's purely emotion, which is ironic. But on the other creator's video that got over 2 million views, the top comments were: suspected drug smuggling is not punishable by death, not even proven drug smuggling is punishable by death. Repeat after me: we committed a war crime, we did it and didn't even try to hide it, our government then bragged about it, and then no trial, no evidence, no jury. What the fuck we do in America? And to that I have to respond, what we've been doing this whole time. And I'm not just talking about deportations, or even back as far as Ronald Reagan with the Iran-Contra scandal, and the absolute disaster that was the war on drugs. No, I'm talking about Trump, because even the no new wars president has been dipshittedly disregarding the repercussions of his military actions since 2019, and even before maybe. Because back in his first term, Trump personally approved a Navy SEALs team to secretly plant an electronic device on a North Korean fishing boat. The device would let the United States intercept the communications of the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un during their high-level nuclear talks with Trump. But in an explosive report, the New York Times wrote that the team failed their mission in a deadly way. Fearing that they had been spotted, the SEALs opened fire on the boat, killing the innocent fishermen on board. Trump never publicly acknowledged or notified key members of Congress who oversee intelligence operations either before or after the mission. That lack of notification may have violated the law, which, let's be honest, is par for the course for Donald fucking Trump. And despite the fact that this time, at least, the White House is expected to defend its drug boat strike to Congress, Republican warhawks are unlikely to push back, and even the do-nothing Democrats probably won't have much pushback because they don't want to look soft on drug cartels. Which is fucking classic pussyfooting Democratic messaging, and unfortunately kind of valid for them because so many people in our country believe any of the shit that comes out of Donald Trump's Big Mac hole. And so because there's probably gonna be no pushback from Congress, even though there's already plenty of international pushback, we have to go to social media, which thankfully has been a valid form of pushback against this administration, to see how they exploded at this news. Arms Control Association Director Daryl Kimball wrote on X, yet another example of Trump's reckless and failed approach to dealing with nuclear-armed North Korea. If this had happened under Obama or Biden, the media would have crucified them. Constitutional law professor Anthony Michael Christ called the maneuver an absolute disregard for Article 1 powers. Good thing we're giving the Department of Defense nicknames. Another critic snidely described the drama on X as future Nobel Peace Prize laureate Donald Trump killing a boat full of fishermen, then didn't tell Congress about it. Dude, can the U.S. negotiate in good faith, like, at all? And the White House declined to comment on the article. So the answer to all these questions is obviously no. We never really have. We're the reason certain South American governments are in the crises that they are and have the drug problems that they do. And to claim that people using drugs is reason to kill a boat with 11 people on it, which would be wildly out of character for a drug smuggling boat, is a dystopian level of brain rot that makes me question the very fabric of the society we currently have. And even if they were smugglers, and even if they deserved to die, if they were terrible people or whatever, the fact that Donald Trump hides this stuff from Congress, doesn't ask Congress for approval for stuff like this that he's supposed to, for even tariffs, or give a shit about the repercussions of major acts like this, or bombing Iran, or tanking the economy, or taking away your health care. He couldn't give a shit. He's gonna be dead pretty fucking soon. Praise be. All he cares about is getting rich, looking strong, keeping himself in power, and he damn sure doesn't care about MAGA, what they think, their vote, or if they live or die. And for them to think so is so fucking stupid that they might as well get an arm tattoo and go on a fucking fishing boat through the Caribbean with sacks of flour and see how it turns out for them. So if you care at all, please like and subscribe and share this video around so that the actual story of what's going on here gets out. Because apparently most of the mainstream media either doesn't have the balls to question Trump and will just continue to platform whatever the fuck he says, regardless of how little evidence he gives. So please support the work that we do here at Really American. Thank you for watching. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse. I will see you all in the next one.